Umunnem, do you know it is actually wrong for an Igbo woman to take the name of her husband after she is married? I mean, when I say name, I mean the surname of her husband, or even the first name of her husband after she gets married to him. Now, many of us do not know this because colonization happened and the missionaries came, and when you add colonization plus the church, and after 100 years, we have now started to live like the Europeans. But in ancient Igbo land, in ancient Igbo, as a woman gets married to a man, she maintains and retains her name and her father's name. She does not take the man's name, the man's surname, just how we have now, like in this age where you have, let's say, a woman is called Chioma Ezayana, so, and then she gets married to a man called Nonso Okafor, and then she removes Ezayana, so, when she gets married to Nonso, and then takes up Okafor, which is Nonso's surname, as her own surname, and then goes ahead to change it in all her documents, goes to the high court, does swears affidavit, change surname, all of that. It's actually wrong. It's actually wrong. I'm saying it's wrong because there's no better way to paint it. There's no better way to paint it to make it sound sweet. Our tradition is our tradition, and it has been that way for thousands of years. The fact that it has changed to now become that a woman marries and takes her husband's surname does not mean it is the right thing. Does not mean it is the right thing. I know lots of guys, lots of men will oppose this and will say, it's not possible. But if we were to go by our real traditions as Ndi Igbo, and our real culture as Ndi Igbo, a woman will not take her husband's surname as her name. A woman will not be buried in her husband's place. Nwada, a woman always returns to her father's house, land, when she dies. This was how it was in the olden days, and that's because we married. You marry from your village, or maybe you marry your town, or maybe you marry from the next town or the next village. So it's easy to actually take a woman when she's dead and go bury her in her father's house. But with modernization and we marry from long distances all around Igbo, this culture now started to shift, and it basically started shifting first of all from after the early 1900s, and then also around the civil, even before the Biafran War, women were still taken back to their father's house to be buried. But then after, during the war, because of what happened during the war, most women were buried in their husband's house if they died and all of that. So, and after that, the church now regulated it to now become the norm, to now become the norm. And somehow too, the church played a role in trying to make it seem like it was wrong. It was wrong. Ikunozu Nwada. The campaign merged in with the war, and this thing happened over a space of many years. I will not say it happened just during the war, or it started from when the missionaries came, and we expanding, going out of our towns and villages into other parts of the world, parts of the country. Mana, if we go down to our history, our heritage, our culture, a woman is not supposed to, as a man, a woman is not supposed to take your name, your surname as her surname. If she marries you, she maintains her father's name, her name and her father's name, and then she is just Chioma Ezayana so Bunwunye Nonso Okafor. Even the idea of surname was not even an Igbo thing. This like Mwanabo Chukwuka Obi Urunduneso. Then Yiafobu Chukwuka Nwa Nduneso Okwu. Or Nduneso gonna be my ancestor Yota. But let's just say my son now, Jidenna, will say Jidenna Nwa Chukwuka. And that's how it was. The idea of surname came to us through foreign influence. We did not have surnames even in the past. Although I cannot say it was that way for every part of an Igbo manner. Majority did not use surnames. It was just the name. Afa Balonwa. Afa Balonwa ke afa nwa. Afa nwa bụ onye ekwelu. Onye ekwelu nwa onye nwa mmadụ abụchi, you know. And that was how it was. So surname now came. And then we now have, after surname now came, we now have marriage that has to remove the name of the woman's surname and replace it with that of the man. These things are alien to us. Like me, for instance, I always like to use myself as an example. You know, my wife maintains her surname. In as much as on social media or wherever she has her name, her surname, and that's her her family surname, and then my family surname, which is now like a compound surname. But there's no her accounts, whatever. Everything about her still has her surname. I did not push her to go and change her surname to my name or whatever. All we have is just, if you need to prove that yes you're married to this man, you show your marriage certificate. You know, something like that. And that's how it is. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. But most men will prefer, once they marry their wives, they will change the wife has to change her name to his surname to prove that she's married to him and all of that. I understand. I understand the sentiment. Mana, traditionally, it is wrong. It is wrong. So I'm just trying to teach us. You can make up this whatever you want, and go and ask the elders in your village. If you have conscious elders who know our tradition and our history, go and ask them, and then come back on the comment section and tell us what they told you. But don't come and start arguing as a like now. Go and ask, and if you find out the fact, you come back and tell us, yes, this is how it is in my place. This is how it is in my place, right? So Umunemu, this I'll come to the end of this episode, A Voice of the Sun. I made my humble self Chukandune Soko, and wherever you find this video, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you find it, please do subscribe, like, share, follow. Just engage with our content, and let others see it too, and then learn from what we share here on A Voice of the Sun. So I guess I'll see you on the next video, where we share interesting conversations and teachings such as this. For now, Umunnem Ogadeno Dalono is bye for now.